Hey folks, so last time we talk about the local fast and the dark and hard parts of the local fast, and I see that it was a lot of views on this video, and today I want to continue. So as I said, I really deeply believe on the future of the local fast, and it solves a lot of problems, and it gives the benefits of the total data ownership. But I learned in a hard way the problem of the versioning of the things. And on every interview, you have a question how you version the microservices, and then majority of the time we spent on this question how we actually set the version, how we maintain and deprecate the old version of the service. But at some point, I was responsible for the SDK development. And if you take the SDK or any kind of library, it's even worse than the microservice, because in a microservice you at least knows who uses you, who calls you, and so on. But in a SDK, if you release the library, it's practically no way to convince people to upgrade, and it's practically no way to know who actually use you, and so on, without some tricks, centralized endpoints, back communication channels, and all of the things that majority people don't like if you introduce something to your library. And the local fast applications and local fast architectures are more closer to the SDKs than to the microservice, because you have something that runs on somebody else's device. And here we need to find a different strategy, not only to the compatibility of the versions, but to the propagation of the versions. And the propagation somehow could be more challenging than the updates. Yeah, so we need to take care to be not just backward compatible, because about the backward compatibility practically everybody knows. Yeah, that the old clients somehow able to work with the newer versions, but to forward compatible, to be open, that your future applications are able to work with something older. And the superset of this, it's a full compatibility that are backward and forward compatible. But to be honest, it's practically impossible, because we have just couple of options or possible changes that are usually fully compatible. So how we could make it better, how we could make it more resistant. And here I really like the concept of the gradually updated protocols, that we both speak English, but maybe in some point we invent the new worlds, but you're still able to understand me on the some extent, and so on. And usually these gradual protocols in the decentralized systems, they try to maintain as far as possible the functions, and maybe affect some of the capabilities that really require the newer version of the data, but still try to operate as far as possible with the old one. And it's introduced a lot of things. First of all, it's give you the concept of the schema evolution, and completely different approach of the schemas. And it's not always about the JSON, it's more about some things like Avro and proto buffers that are more flexible to be forward and backward compatible. And sometimes you need to ship not just the data, but the schema of your data, and make your client and server or reader and writer more aware about the versions. And maybe the version not just a service, but version of some particular objects and particular functions, that you could say that, okay, if I get this shape of data, probably I could do this at that functions, and this version propagation and changes propagation, schema evolution is heavily complex. But we need to have this gradually upgradable protocols that keep talking, because you could have the decentralized system in a completely different states, in a completely different time periods. and it's extremely complex for the local fast. So the forward compatibility, full compatibility, and the version propagation and upgrades, you have no influence on the people that still use the old version of the software. So you should find the way how to work with them. So it's yet another dark side and a hard part of the local fast, but it's valid for the SDKs and libraries. And if you want to be the forward compatible, you need to control all the readers, and it's not always possible. So, but at least you could try. So that's all that I was quite keen to share with you today. And stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, write the comments. See you next time.